Just on a different subject, a person rang me on my radio program yesterday to ask if there was a hidden agenda about the government doing nothing for farmers. And she asked, do they want to close down the farming sector? I had a senior person in the Morrison Government who is totally opposed to the failure of the government to do anything for farmers, to tell me that the answer to that question, do they want to close down the farming sector, that the answer is yes. You see, the global warming alarmists want beef, sheep and dairy scaled back to meet Paris targets and ultimately eliminated. After all, you see, the agricultural sector accounts for 14% of our carbon dioxide emissions. Last election, Labor wanted a 45% economy-wide emissions reduction target by 2030. That included agriculture. The only way to get those cuts is to cull the herds. And with the drought, that's what's happening. Our sheep flock has been culled to its lowest level since 1904. The beef and dairy herds have been culled, including breeding stock, either sold or shot. For the green climate zealots living in the cities, that's good news, because emissions are down. No animals to break wind. Over the past 12 months, emissions from the agricultural sector fell 5.9%. Labor must be cheering, because they wanted a 45% reduction by 2030. Compare all this with the billions being spent on subsidising intermittent, weather-dependent, renewable energy to reduce emissions. But it's only when the reductions in agriculture are taken into account that we get the headline reduction in carbon dioxide emissions. The guts of it is this. If the Morrison government had a comprehensive plan to avoid culling our herds, we'd not be able to go to the climate jamboree which is on at the moment in Spain and boast about reducing emissions. And ultimately, all this is meaningless, because last year, global carbon dioxide emissions increased by 600 metric tonnes. A metric tonne is equal to 1,000 kilograms. I've said many times, we've both said, Peter and I, there's got to be a royal commission into all of this. We're being led by the nose. This global warming stuff is a gigantic hoax, but the damage is massive.